Hi everyone, it's Debbie again from Debbie's Crafty Hands. Welcome. I hope you enjoyed my last two videos. We're on to the third now, so we're really rocking and rolling. Today I'm going to do a technique I saw recently on another YouTube, but it's not exactly copying her. It's just taking the idea and running with it to a slightly different format. But she used paper that you print out and paper that you buy. I'm using paper that you have free through the front door, inside of envelopes again. Don't worry, I will do other things apart from inside of the envelopes, but today I'm on that subject because I think it's nice to be able to use the stuff that you don't have to pay for. So what I'm going to try and do today is do a mosaic plain white envelope, bit functional but maybe not inspiring. So I've cut the envelope inside into little squares. These are inch squares, and I also got 2-inch squares. Could you pass me the ruler please, technical man? Thank you. Now for those who prefer the more modern method, find a ruler that tells me what's what. 2 inches is roughly 2.5 centimeters. It's not an exact science. And no, get that, scrub that, start again. 2 inches is 5 centimeters and 1 inch is 2.5 centimeters, approximately, give or take a few millimeters. So that gives you a rough idea if you're working in metrical or imperial. So we call these inches and these twinches, because it's 2 times the size. What I'm hoping to do today is work with inches and twinches. I'm working on this envelope to decorate this envelope, and I'm going to work on this Amazon packaging with the bigger pieces to decorate this. You can do alternate greys and blues, darks and lights, whatever you like, but I'm just going to pick up and put down. As long as the one either side of it doesn't is not the same one, then you can just pop them on. I'm going to be using Pritt Stick, which is my glue of choice on a stick glue. There are plenty of other varieties, but I find this one sticks quite nicely and it's not gloopy or sticky. So just going to put a little bit on the back, using a flyer as my glue paper, and I'm going to go from the bottom corner and work my way round the side of the envelope. I'm going to pick up that one. It's a different colour. So I'm going to try and alternate the blues and the greys, and it is fun, relaxing, therapeutic, all those things. Now I am going to do a little twist with it towards the end, but I'll keep that to myself for the moment. Get that glue on there. While I'm doing this, I have a little, let you know a bit more about myself. I am engaged, I have a son, and I have my technical guy, and I have currently 4 cats Two are mine, one is Technical Guys, and the other one is a foster. I work for Cats Whiskers Protection, and that's in Hertfordshire, and they allow me to foster the cats that have been rescued from various situations and bring them back to health, socialise them, and then they go on to hopefully live a good life with a forever home. The current cat I have is Fennel, and unfortunately she had a nasty accident and a bit of a fight with a horse and has lost part of her foot. She is now, thank goodness, on the road to recovery and is waiting for her forever home. I work at a hospice local to my house, and I've been there about 4 months. Previous to that, I was a community carer, so that's a little bit about my background. Other hobbies, as I think I mentioned on previous video, I enjoy knitting and crochet, sewing, and just general crafts of most sorts really. I also enjoy doing jigsaws, but I don't do them at the moment because it's too tempting for the cats to not flying, so I do that when I'm not at home and the cats are being looked after elsewhere. So on holiday, jigsaws are my holiday pastime because I can't necessarily take crafts with me, or the amount of craft stuff with me that I'd like to do on holiday. Recent holiday we did some stone painting, which was good fun, and I might bring some of that onto the channel at some point, although I think the stones might be prohibitive for postage, so they won't be going into the shop unless someone really likes it and they're happy to pay the premium on the postage. Right, so we've done one row. Now, because we're going to go on to the back, what we can do with the last one is we can pop it on. So what one should we have? Some more choices out of my little bucket beside here. I don't think we've had that one yet. No. So you can put it on the edge here and then fold it over, or it's best to put it on this bottom bit and leave a little bit to go over. So we got a little bit on the edge there, and pull it out, line it up and fold it over. And we can have that edge like that, and then the next row we can start at that end and work down and have a smaller edge on the other side, so it's not all a thin edge both ways. Right, so I'm going to keep going around the bottom of the envelope because we want to cover the whole bit except for the middle. We've got a dastardly plan for the middle. Now, I'm not putting them exactly against each other because we want it to look like mosaic, and we want it to have a ever so slight gap, which then I can fill in with a marker. You can use a felt tip, you can use paint pens, you can use glitter pens, gel pens, whatever you have available, and it just sort of makes the squares pop out a bit more. This is the fiddly bit, getting more nice and even. Right, I'm going to fold that in half because that's got a bit sticky. Let's have another one of these. I've cut these squares up in advance because it's a little bit fiddly, and I didn't think you'd want to sit through watching me cut them up as well as stick them on. But basically you just choose your size that you would like to use. You can use any size you like really, but you need to have it so that you have a few across and a few down so that you can alternate the colours. Well, if that's what the style you'd like to have. I think I've got about 4 or 5 different patterns going at the moment. Keep going on here. Nearly round one band. I know some people like to watch sort of collage as such. I find it relaxing, so I hope that's the case. Another blue. There we go. Almost to the end. And the last one. In here. Got some more of those. Unfortunately, with the inside of envelopes, especially in England, you don't have a great deal of choice in colour. I don't know, let me know if you have some better choices where you live. I'll be interested. The bricks are unusual, yeah. Don't get many of them. You do get plenty of the blue diamonds, that sort of pattern. This is from O2 shop. Nice little pattern there. So big companies quite often have their own inside of envelope pattern or security pattern. It is basically there to stop you reading other people's mail, so I understand. Right, so that's that done. So we're going to come in from this side now. So we've got a blue there, we need a darker one up here, so let's use this one. That's quite nice. I'm going to do two rows, and then fill in the sides, and I have this to go over the top, so we will have to come in two rows, and probably almost 3 in from each side on the other bits. What other choices have I got here? I thought I made some of these ones into smaller, but maybe I didn't. They're hiding underneath, that's what they're doing. We haven't got any of that pattern on yet, so I might have to. Now I wonder if we were to do a big one up the side and a big one up the side like that, and then some small ones in the middle, that would fill our gap in, wouldn't it? What do we reckon? Yeah, a small one there, and that would save quite so much sticking. You can mix and match them. You can put them in diamond shape. You don't have to put them straight on. So you could put them, just stick this one down and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So you could come from the corner down in a diagonal like that, and then you could bring the others in from the side, and then all you would do if you overlapped the edge of the envelope, you just trim the bits off that you didn't need. So you can, you know, it doesn't have to be straight on, you know, 90 degrees type thing. So that's another option. So I think you got the concept of the back. I'll show you how I do the flap. Well, I've just shown you how I do the flap, because basically I would come from the point, just on the edge of the point, and then the fingers are getting very sticky, and I would work up the sides in a more boxy pattern, and maybe have one in here, and then you get the idea, working up, and then I would just trim round. So you can play with the designs, play with the ideas, play with the colours. These little squares can actually be coloured in as well. So let me see, what have I got here? I bet I've got a pen that doesn't work now. Oh no, that one does. That's lovely. So you could just sketch over the top of them, just give a bit of colour, and then you've got a whole new set of pattern paper. You could paint it while it's a whole envelope, with maybe some water paints or acrylics or whatever, but you want something that's going to let the pattern underneath come through. Now that reminds me of honeycomb. Now I've done it in yellow. Right. Quite a pretty one. You can always go back and colour in the squares afterwards and do different colours as well. So the sky's the limit, as they say. Right, where's this one going? This one's going inside here, I believe. I'll do that because somehow I've got a bit of yellow on my finger, on the pen, and that's got yellow on that, so that can go on the inside. It's just going to be covered up. So okay, I'm just going to finish this little bit on the front. I won't do the whole back bit. You'll be relieved to know. I'm then going to show you my next project, the Amazon envelope, which is waiting in the wings. Just trying to find different colours here, textures I should say. Right, that's one I haven't used on this side. Okay, I am going to show you how to repair the flap of the envelope on the Amazon envelope, which has been ripped, as you can see. So we can just collage a new piece of cardboard and then cut it to shape. So that's what we're going to be doing in a minute. Let's ooh. Glue, 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 sticky, sticky fingers. Goodness. And one more on here. Somehow I'm getting yellow over everything. And, that's that pen. I somehow got it on my fingers and I'm not quite sure how. That one, one, that one, that one. I'm running out of non-sticky bits on my bit of paper as well, so I'm going to have to change my bit of paper in a second. There we go. So we can put one there. Yeah. Turn this over. Sticky glue. Oh, this glue's getting very gloopy. Must be warm in here. I've got the heating on. Making the glue quite gloopy. Gloopy glue. Picking out some might go up a bit. That can go in there. Now, you might wonder, why would you cover a perfectly good white envelope? One, for the relaxation and fun of doing collage, and two, it strengthens the envelope. So if you've got a bit of a flimsy envelope and you've got a bit of a thicker card to go in it, it will strengthen the envelope, especially if you wrap around the sides. Where did my little... So how I cut this out is I used just a metal die on my big shop machine, and they're very, very affordable. What they call nesting dies, but as the name indicates, sit inside each other and give you lots of different sizes to play with. Nesting, yeah, well, not quite the means nesting inside each other. So I won't finish the corners. On my next episode I'll show you the finished article on this, because I want to move on now to the second envelope and show you how to do the mend the flap. So what I have here is a rather broken envelope, but soon not to be. So I'm going to trim off this extra flappy bit here and make it level. And I'm going to do that with, excuse my reach, my trusty little knife and my ruler. When you're doing this with the Stanley knife or your craft knife, make sure you've got something underneath, because if you don't want to ruin your working surface. I've got my self-healing mat underneath, so that's a nice surface to work on. So I picked out this back, I think it was a bit of card that I had, and it's not quite the whole length, but it will come in between where the diagonal goes up, but I don't need the whole bit of it, so I just need a little bit, but I need it to the fold where it flaps up, but not beyond, otherwise it's going to impair the movement, and just maybe a few millimeters off the top. So, and then probably need it try and line up, so I'm going to straight line. Get this jaggedy edge off. Now with your crafting knife, if you don't cut through immediately, firm but not too much pressure and more than one stroke is better than pushing down and risking snapping the blade.
Where did you get that knife?
This one, I'm not sure. One is a red line, but you get all sorts of different styles. This one's more like a Stanley knife, and
I think we got from a hardware shop for £1 for 4 or something.
Yeah, this was a cheap one, but they all work as long as you're careful and gentle with them. They all work pretty nicely. That's a knife I just use for opening the envelopes. That would do it at a pinch, but you need to make sure you've got a very sharp knife. And this one's a little bit blunt from cutting paper so much. So, how wide? I reckon. So this flap is 2 centimeters, so about 3/4 of an inch. So if we were to make an extra inch on the top, so 1 3/4 inches, about 5 or 6 centimeters. I mean, you don't have to be precise, accurate. It's just a nice length that you would have to fold over. So I'm going to square this up on my mat again. That's 1, 2, 3 inches there. I'll go the next line. Give me a little bit more. Okay. Trusty blade out again. And again, firm, but not overly pressured. A few extra strokes and you'll get a more accurate, straighter line, and don't risk slipping so much. We had a plumber once who was working in our bathroom, putting a new bath panel on, and I don't know quite how he thought he was going to achieve using a Stanley knife on his lap, and he had to rush downstairs with his leg, a gaping hole in his leg, and go to A&E and excuse himself. So
I was about 12.
Yeah, accidents do happen. I mean, that was a contractor that was trying to cut corners, obviously, but accidents do happen. So please be safe. We don't want anything to happen to you guys. So I'm just literally made that, you can see, just a few millimeters away from the edge and level with the edge of the slope. Now, it doesn't matter that this is a bit tatty or this is a different colour, because we can collage over it. But before we do, we want to get a nice even shape. In order to get our shape, we can use an envelope, which is not quite the right shape, but you could, use that as a template. What I like to do is fold in half and then Could you pass me a pair of scissors, the red handles there? Thank you. And then when you've got it nice and even, doesn't matter what shape you have because it's going to be the same both sides. So cut whatever shape you want, and then it's going to be even both sides. So that's a nifty little trick you can try. So and then you can collage just inside the envelope. And I would start in the middle and work my way down, because that way you get a more even balance on the bits of paper you're putting down. So where the fold is, try and get the middle of the paper into the middle, onto that centre fold, and then on, and then I think you get the general idea. What I will do is I will sign off now. I've been little waves in the air saying my time is up. Come in number one. I will complete these envelopes, and on my next video I will show you the finished result. But as you can see, it's quite straightforward. It's not rocket science. You never get rocket science from me. I like to use simple formulas that work, and just play with paper. So have fun, guys. I'll see you in the next episode. Much love. Bye bye.